Welcome everyone back to the YouTube channel. Brennan Mejia here, the Red Ranger from Power Rangers Dino Charge. Anyway, today's video, I'm gonna go over my favorite Zords from Dino Charge. So I was debating how I wanted to rank them, like who would win in a fight or what's most aesthetically pleasing to me, but I'm just gonna list different reasons why I like the Zords I do. And if you agree or not, let me know in the comments. Let's get into it. All right, so number 11. You're like, there's 11 Zords?
You're too slow.
Sonic, relax. Well, depending on, in Kyodoujo, there may be more Zords if you're thinking about like the movies and stuff, but off of Dino Charge, I'm gonna go off of the 11 main Zords that I can recall off of my memory / what Wiki says. So number 11 is the Parazord. So this is our Graphite Ranger Zord. I was between him and our number 10 for who was gonna be 11 or 10, but although I like the idea that it has like a wrecking ball like head as a weapon, I think the design just, it kind of looks not my ideal Zord. Like it doesn't have that cool factor look to it, even though it's very useful in a fight. So if we're talking about Dino Supercharge modes where I get to use different armor pieces, the Parazord arm for sure would be great because then you have this long range ability to hit, but also fight up close. So in that sense, I think it's useful. But overall, I mean, I just like some of the other Zords more. So yeah, sorry, Parazord Graphite, you are number 11. But number 10, which was almost number 11, is for me, the Ankalloazord. And the reason for this, primarily, honestly, is because the Ankalloazord is like a sky blue or, aqua, and aqua is, for our Rangers, is my favorite color. So again, some of this may be aesthetics, some may be functionality or versatility, but the Ankalloazord has a hammer tail, which I felt was kind of similar to the Parazord, although it doesn't have a long range hit, but they're both blunt objects to strike bad guys with. And I just like the overall design better again, and that color just really speaks to me. We all have the thing, like people are like, you're a Red Ranger, red should be your favorite color. Well, I'm sorry, it's not. It's blue, and it's that blue specifically. Cool, you with me, you feel me? Great. Number 9 would be the Triceradrill. So I actually like that they changed the colors of some of the Zords from like Mighty Morphin and even Dino Thunder, where the blue Ranger is always gonna have a Triceratops, but ours switched the color scheme. So we have the Triceradrill. So again, you have a weapon that's close range, but it's not a blunt instrument anymore. Now it has a point and the spinning capability for maximum damage, can drill through things and walls. And I like the color pink. I thought I was wearing pink. I was wearing pink in the last video we just filmed. I was like, see, like this shirt, which I'm not wearing. So I'm gonna say number 9 is the Triceradrill. And then also, even though it's not our shield, I feel like, because we have that drill attachment, we don't keep the head as a shield like some of the other seasons may have done, but I feel like it could still kind of be a shield if you're using the Zord on its own to fight solo, that the head can block and kind of tank some damage. Number 8, the Parazord, which is our Black Ranger's Zord. So now we're getting long range with the attacks. James Davies plays our Black Ranger. Chase, who is the hot shot of the team. So now we have something that shoots like projectiles. I think this is a useful ability. I also think the Zord design is pretty sleek and very useful, again, because everything we've mentioned so far, for the most part, is up close fighting, although the Parazord had the ability for some long range to a degree, but now we can like attack things in the sky and shoot them down if we needed to in a Megazord battle. So very useful, versatile, and then also just, again, looks cool. And James is like the cool kid on the team, so of course his Zord is gonna be cool. Just makes sense. Number 7, we're gonna go with the Raptor Zord. So our Green Ranger's Zord is the sword, because our Green Ranger is the swordsman of the team. And they touched more on this in Kyodoujo, which is, again, the source material of Dino Charge, with him really having a lot of sword training from his dad, like inheriting his dad's style of fighting and then also coming up with his own style. So I just thought that was really cool, and that his Zord reflected his style. It kind of reminds me how, you talk about like people, they say you kind of look like your dog or your dog kind of looks like you, and whether you gravitate towards a breed that has similar qualities or whatever reason you anamorph slightly into that dog, I feel like the Raptor Zord and the Green Ranger reflect each other very well with their capabilities. So there you go, that's number 7. Number 6 favorite Zord in dinocharge is the Stegazord. So now it's another blue, again, an iteration of my favorite color. And we're getting into one of my favorite rangers, which is the Oshisadarso, our blue ranger Zord, and his is the shield. So our season, the Blue Ranger has caveman strength, super strong, but he also plays defense with that strength. So he maximizes it to act as a tank. So in video games, tanks are the characters that literally tank all the damage. So the other people can get the attacks in while taking the enemy's, basically anger or aggro or whatever you want to call it. So your attackers can get in, your healers are ignored while they're healing your team. So that just kind of reminds me of our Blue Ranger's Zord. And I like the fact that he's like defensive because the Zord again reflects our Blue Ranger's personality. He was very warm and caring. The team wasn't just a team, it was family to our Blue Ranger. And so I would like to give him a little higher up on the list. Number 6. Now we're getting into the top 5 Megazords, or I should say Zords, of dinocharge. So this is where it gets a little harder for me to choose because I like these Zords quite a bit. But number 5 is gonna go to the Spinosaur, which is the Zord that Shelby in dinocharge created. There's an episode where she learned to make new Zords because we needed more firepower, essentially. This Zord is really strong. And so again, if I was going off of who would win in a fight, this would probably be higher on the list, but I'm just utilizing a bunch of different things about the different Zords. It's not honestly my favorite design of a Zord, but it is strong, and so it has a place on it for a myriad of factors. And the fact that it can also fight on its own. Yeah, so anyway, it's a force to be reckoned with. So Spinosaur is number 5 for me. But now we're getting into the top 4. So for the next 4, this one's hard. I'm gonna say Titano Zord is number 4. Very close to number 3. And one of my best friends, Dylan Titano, I always joke that he's a Megazord because his last name literally is Titano, like the Titano Zord. I'm Brennan Mejia, I'm a Power Ranger, and this is Dylan. His last name is a Megazord. Let's get into it.
My last name is not Dylan a Megazord.
Dylan a
Megazord. Just for the record.
Nope, it's Titano, which is a Megazord. I felt like seasons past did a better job of combining all their Zords. Because correct me if I'm wrong again, but our Titano Zord kind of holds all our Megazords, right? Consisting of the energy from all 23 Dino Chargers, so it can shoot a blast with all the Dino Chargers.
Well, I do remember that like when y'all charge it up, y'all's Dino Chargers all grow big and slot in, so it holds all of the Dino Chargers.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I think the other Zords just hang out next to it. Yeah, they send their energy into the Titano cannon. So basically it does like a Spirit Bomb attack. It's 3rd largest Megazord in the entire Power Rangers franchise. It's only shorter than the Zeo Ultra Zord and the Zenith Carrier Zord Warrior Mode.
Real quick, because he brought up Spirit Bomb. Did you know, and I love that this is here because it means kind of nothing. Did you know it has a power of 32 million, according to Wikipedia?
That's over 9,000.
It's over 9,000!
What is that?
I don't even know, 32 million watts.
I don't know. But it wasn't strong enough to destroy the Dark Energem, remember? Because we shot it at point blank range with the Titanozord, right? And it didn't break.
I remember how you beat the Dark Energem. I don't remember the failed attempt.
How did we beat it? I was there.
You got a mirror? You got
right. We reflect all the light.
6 billion mirrors.
Yeah. So the Titanozord couldn't destroy the Dark Energem point blank range, but 6 billion mirrors is stronger than 23 million somethings. Yeah, I really like the Titanozord. It would almost beat the other ones, but once I explain the other ones, I'll explain why. Because I want it in my top 3, like in my brain, because of how strong it is. But let's jump in the top 3. So number 3 is the Plesioord. So Plesioord, I wanted to almost switch to Titanozord. I'm still going back and forth in my brain, depending on the day you ask me. The Plesioord, for usefulness, being able to go not only underwater, but into space. So versatility-wise, also a strong fighter, can also turn into a Zord, right? It turns into its own Megazord? Yeah, so very useful. Even if it would lose in a fight 1v1 against Titanozord, I feel like it could do more than the Titanozord because it can fly on its own and go underwater, like I said. So it can do, like, for travel, super useful. And it looks pretty cool too. Plesioord is a fairly big Zord as well, but yeah, I just feel that that space traveling capability definitely gives it a leg up in regards to why it's in the top 3, and the Titano Zord is barely not in the top 3. So now we're gonna jump into the top 2. Who's gonna be number 1, I wonder? Stay tuned. So number 2 is going to our Gold Rangers Zord, which is the Terzord. This is primarily because, again, it's one of those Megazords that has a Megazord functionality on its own, but can also combine. So it really was nostalgic for me. It reminded me of the Dragon Zord from Mighty Morphin. Not that Dragon Zord flies, but the Dragon Zord is its own standalone Zord that has, you know, the ability basically to walk around, do its own thing, but also combine with the Megazord. And so our Terzord can do the same thing, but even one-ups it slightly because it has the animal mode where it can like turn into a pterodactyl and fly around, but then it also turns into this humanoid mech form, but then it can also combine onto the dinocharge Megazord. So again, versatility, and gold is just cool, and Ivan, our Gold Ranger, I just really like him, and his Zord just seems so elegant and epic and versatile that it edged out the Plesio/Titano Zord, who switches off between 3rd and 4th place. With all that being said, that only leaves 1 Zord left. But before I get to the number 1 winner, you're like, well, there's only one. What are you gonna say next? Are you just filling time? Maybe, maybe not. No, honorable mentions. So our Dino cycles are technically Zords. Like it splits into like 2 pieces of little Zord things that drive around, right? So that's an honorable mention. And then also in Kyodryuger again, also in the toys in dinocharge, there's some Zords that never made it into the show, but there's dinochargers for them. And there's toys of them as if they are Zords. So whether they just kept them in Kyodryuger and we didn't get them or not, or why we didn't get them because we never adapted that footage, whatever, can't control that. But yeah, so those are honorable mentions. Really only said 1 specifically, but I feel like there's an alligator type crocodile thing that I think I have the toy in my garage actually, but I don't even remember if it was in Kyodryuger because I haven't seen it in a minute. So if you guys remember some other Zords that were not on this list in dinocharge, but were in Kyodryuger or dinocharge, comment below. But now let's get to number 1, drum roll please. Couches don't do great for drum rolling, but of course, none other than Rexi. Okay, so Rexi obviously is my Megazord, but T-Rexes are also the most iconic, dinosaur there is, and a lot of that is because of Jurassic Park, which reminds me, I need to go see the new Jurassic World Expedition movie. Yeah, but Rexi, super cool because not only is Rexi sentient like the other Zords in dinocharge on her own, yes, I've decided that Rexi's a girl, because like in the beginning few episodes, Rexi goes and fights and like swings around the monster's head and like just flips and lands like on a roof, and then I fight in tandem with Rexi and get like shot out of Rexi's mouth and like punch a monster. And then later on in Dino Supercharge, Rexi has this ability to go like into a blaster mode and go tiny, and then can fight as that tiny version, but also become this blaster, which gives me access to Dino Supercharge mode, which is my battleizer, basically the Red Ranger's power up, which happens in almost every single season. There's some kind of Red Ranger power up, but the battleizer for Dino Supercharge, AKA Carnival mode in Kyodryuger, basically turns me into a mini Megazord where I can combine pieces of my arms and legs, like, well, it's just arms, not legs. Is it legs?
I think just arms.
Yeah, I think just arms, because legs, how would you walk really? Anyway, into a mini Megazord, to where I can have like the P.A.K.A. arm, where I can shoot like this wrecking ball piece and swing it around, or I can have the, Stego shield as an arm, or the Triceradrill as an arm, or the Raptor sword. So I become like this Mega Man-esque character, which is super versatile in fights. So I think that's really cool because not only, again, can I go into the Zord and the Zord fights on the Zord zone mode and is sentient, can do its own thing, but also obviously is like the main component of the dinocharge Megazord, but then also lets me go into the supercharge mode. Really the only downside is I can't use my battleizer, I guess, and Rexi as a Zord at the same time, since I kind of need Rexi to become my battleizer. But I think that speaks to the strength of the battleizer, that I literally have a Zord attached to me for power. there you have it, guys. Ranking my favorite dinocharge Zords. Let me know in the comments if you agree or what your list would be. If I missed anything, you know, I don't really think I did, but maybe I did because, you know, it's been literally 10 years since dinocharge came out and my memory only works so well these days. All right, guys, if you want to see more top 10 videos, watch right here.